I'm Scott Hicks, the director of Shine, and on this track you'll be hearing from me and Geoffrey Rush, the lead actor for the film, about the processes involved in the making of Shine. And here, in a sense, he's donning the gloves, I guess, for the fight that lies ahead, you know, and an awareness that she has empowered him to go to London, but he's going to have to go through this terrible struggle to do it. He enters the dark house again, and we have the sense of Peter lurking in the shadows. And the gloves tell him everything. And here I got Armin, when he read this letter, to do this little laugh that I'd heard him do when we shot another scene. And it galvanized Noah into a better reaction, and he loved that. It came from nowhere.
And you think you can just do as you please?
I want to go and...
This was very difficult, this scene. This big sort of master shot was the only thing on the tripod, but everything else had to convey this urgency. We did all this in just 1 or 2 takes because it was rather, horrid to have to do it. Geoffrey Simpson operates the camera handheld, which he doesn't normally like to do, but I wanted the urgency of it, and I wanted the immediacy of it. The visual references are very thickly layered here, and we get the sense now that music is his only friend, just as his father said it would be all those decades ago. And beautiful moment of silence that Pip Carmel created, the broken glasses now, and we're not through yet. This was where Geoffrey Rush gave me the capacity to do these shots from any angle I wished, because he figured out where to put his fingers on the keys. I didn't believe he was going to do it for me, but he did.
I mean, I played till I was 15, but I hadn't played for 30 years. I mean, I couldn't play the piano, so I spent about 3 or 4 months with a piano tutor. And we went through the music very meticulously. I think the first 3 or 4 pages I could cope with. Then it gets, but it's a mute piano that I'm working with, and David Helfgott, of course, provided the playback for the performance. Again, we're filming this at normal speed. This is happening very quickly. And I'm not that gifted on a trampoline. And Scott keeps saying, look up, smile. And my tendency is to want to look down so I don't find myself ending up in a flower bed. This is one of those hilarious days of shooting where you just realise you're in for 12 hours of spending your time hanging around naked, literally hanging around naked on the set. And you have to, you're just revealing all of yourself as an actor and as a person to all of the people that you've been working with for a couple of weeks. And we had some quite good fun on this. In fact, my memory of the whole shoot is one of great hilarity and one of great playfulness, even though the story at times reaches some very dark aspects. It seemed... Maybe that happens. I remember Woody Allen saying something about that once, that, when he's doing a drama, everyone's very buoyant, lots of jokes, it's hilarious, and if you're shooting a comedy, everyone's walking around very seriously trying to work out how to get the next best laugh. But in filming that scene, they shot most of my stuff first, and then I knew that Lynn Redgrave had a fairly important key reaction, and she's an absolute trooper, and brings something very fresh and spontaneous to every take. But I thought, she's seen everything she has to see. So for her close-up, I secretly went across to the garden and picked a few flowers and sort of festooned my genitals so that I was hopefully going to try and get a nice surprise reaction from her when I spun around. It's a hard task for her as an actor to bring to this late stage of the story. This is the beginning of, if there's a redemptive love that parallels the destructive, misguided love of the father in the first third of the film. It's a big ask for a character to come in at such a late stage in the film, and I think Lynn brings an extraordinary presence and credibility to all of the things that she takes on